right, we are 1 o'clock. Let's do this. Give me a second. All working okay? Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jackie M from Masters of Malaysian Cuisine, and I am based in Sydney, Australia, but I have the wonderful Nora Haron, who is based in San Francisco, and she has got something really special for us in store. But before we get into that, let's just get a couple of housekeeping things out of the way. First of all, if you're watching this as a replay, just let us know this is a replay. #replay. And second of all, don't forget to sign up to our website, malaysianchefs.com/join today. And what you'll get is a copy of our cookbook, our special ebook compilation of recipes from all 8 of us Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. And you will get that through an email link that will take you to a membership area. You just have to create an account. It's a free account. Create an account there, and you will be able to access that cookbook. And you can download it or watch it, read it online. But the great thing about creating an account in our members area is that all the recipes, what Nora is cooking today, what Chef Joe made last night, and all our subsequent live videos, all the recipes will be in that members area, all right? So that you can just have one centralized location where you get all these beautiful recipes from the Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. And while you're at it as well, please, if you can, just support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. So you're watching from there, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, but also turn on the notifications by clicking on the bell icon so that you know every time we go live and you don't miss out, all right? Because we're gonna have a lot of like really special announcements over the coming days and months ahead. Now that we've got that out of the way, I want to talk a little bit about what Masters of Malaysian Cuisine is about. There's a group of 8 chefs based around the world. We are all experts in Malaysian cuisine. We're all different. Our styles are different. Our specialties are different. And now, what we're going to be doing is going live every day for 7 days, once a month. All right. So we are in day 2 of our first ever set of 7 days. And because it is a Sunday here while we're streaming live, we have 2 sessions for you. Actually, Saturday over in where Nora is, I think. But today we have we have the wonderful Nora Haron. Who is Nora Haron? Nora was actually born and raised in Singapore, just like some of the best French chefs in the world are Japanese. Some of the best Malaysian chefs in the world are people like Nora Haron, who's not born and raised in Malaysia, but she does have a very close affinity with Malaysia because her family, some of her family is from Malaysia. But because of the, the artificial political borders, Nora ended up in Singapore and some of her relatives ended up in Johor. But Nora is a passionate proponent of the flavors of that part of the world. All right. Now, Nora is also an executive chef, and she is professionally trained, and she's been based in San Francisco for a number of years. She is the head chef. She owns 3 restaurants. She owns more, but 3 restaurants that specialize in Southeast Asian cuisine. But Nora, thank you so much. We are so incredibly proud to have you on board. By the way, guys, Nora was a personal recommendation of Chef Joe, who is the most senior member of our Masters of Malaysian Cuisine group. So she comes extremely, extremely highly recommended, and she's got a beautiful Instagram page where she posts the most incredible food photos and inspirational food. So Nora, please, welcome, and tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you're going to be cooking for us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, and good afternoon, Australia, and good evening, California. Thank you so much for joining us. It is such a privilege and honor to be here to be part of this amazing group of chefs with one common goal, which is to educate people on our food. I've been doing this for years, and it is so important to me that this food until now had been so underrepresented, especially in the US, and to be able to speak on my platform and to tell people how wonderful our food is an enormous milestone for me. So thank you. I am born and raised in Singapore. I am currently based in San Francisco, everything that Jackie said. Today, we're going to be cooking a very special recipe, which is dear and near to my heart. It is my grandfather's Kerala chicken curry recipe. It's very nostalgic to me because I remember the time that my mother would take me to Serangoon, where we would go to the spice mill. We don't use ready-made curry powder in our household. It is something that my mom would, purposely go to the spice mill and ask for certain spices for the recipe that my grandfather would call for. So I remember, she would say, I want 2 pounds of coriander, 2 pounds of fennel, and we come back 2 hours later, she would have bagfuls of, a mix that we would give away to our family. So this is something that brings me back home, and I wanted to share it with everyone. I owe this, and we're going to do it exactly how I do it at my restaurant. All the bases of our broths are vegan. So at pickup time, we then tailor it to whatever your dietary restrictions are. So this is very versatile. You can make it vegan and put any kind of protein you like afterwards. Okay.
Sounds fantastic. All right, guys, I'm going to back out so that Noah gets center stage. If you've got any questions at all, please post them in the YouTube chat, but don't forget to say hello in the YouTube chat as well. If we don't get to respond to it now, we will go back and read through your comments. All right, so I'm going to exit out of here and let Noah do her thing, and then I'll pop back on towards the end and tell you a little bit more about what to expect later on today. Okay, see you, Nora, and have fun.
All right, thank you so much, Jackie. All right, guys, we're gonna start off with a very, very simple marinade. I have here Cookbook pepper. Cookbook pepper originated from Indonesia. It's like your normal black pepper, but with a tail. It is very floral. It's got a very nice, beautiful floral fragrance, great for marination. It is not so pungent. So I toast that and then grind it in my spice mill or a coffee grinder if you have one, some turmeric and kosher salt, and you're going to mix this up with a sprig of lime juice, and you're going to make a marinade for your chicken, like I have here right now. You don't want to marinate this for more than an hour because of the acidity of the lemon. If you don't, or lime, if you don't have either, you can use vinegar. Okay, so you don't want to break down the chicken too much. So 30 minutes to an hour is perfect. So you do that, marinate it, put it in the chiller, and then you can work on your paste. So let's talk about our paste. Now, a lot of family traditionally have their own kind of paste, and the people, I think the most common thing in curry you see is turmeric, garam masala, fennel, and coriander. I'll show you how simple my family recipe is. So this is fennel seeds and coriander seeds. It's a must to toast this first. So you can toast it either in the oven or on your pan, right, until it's aromatic, and then you put it aside. And then if you have garam masala, great. If not, you can make yourself. It's very easy to make garam masala. It's equal parts cumin, coriander, cardamom, pepper, cinnamon, and half of clove and nutmeg. We can write that in the recipe later. On top of that, you're gonna get shallots, fresh ginger, fresh garlic, fresh turmeric. I use Fresno peppers, such as this, and I also use bird's eye chili peppers, and fresh turmeric. You're gonna grind all of that up in the blender with all your spices, and you're going to get a paste such as this. Now you have to add a little bit of water or oil to help the motor of the blender so you don't blow up. Okay, and then you're going to add a little bit of oil onto your hot pan. We're gonna fry this until it separates. I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna have 2 pans hot here because we're about to do the crepe in a minute. Okay, I use grapeseed oil, but you can use any kind of oil you like, simply because it's a higher heating temperature, so that way it does not smoke. It's a higher smoke point. Okay, so about 2 tablespoons or so. The recipe you get is really for a party, so you can have the recipe or quarter it. It's not a problem. Okay, so once hot, you are going to add the paste that we have blended. Make sure it's smooth like this. Just add it in, and you're going to fry it. Okay. Now, while this is frying, I'm going to show you how to make our crepe. Now, people were asking me prior to coming on live, why not use the regular AP flour? Here's the thing, I live in California. A lot of people are gluten-free here. A lot of people are vegan. So what we have done is make something that is not only dietary acceptable to a lot of people, but also delicious. So we've discovered that buckwheat is a delicious substitute for all-purpose flour for crepe. So the recipe for this is very simple. So I put this in a squeeze bottle such as this. A lot of you have seen the contraption that you get for the roti kirai. It's normally yellow. It's got a few nozzles. It is so messy to me. I like to use the squeeze bottle like this. It's contained. You don't make a lot of mess. Okay, so this is 200 milligrams of coconut milk, 50 milligrams of water, 60 grams of buckwheat flour. In Malay, it's called tepung soba. It's the same wheat that buckwheat that is used for making soba noodles. There is no gluten in this. Now, because there's no gluten, you are going to need to add cornstarch. What cornstarch does, it binds the batter together for you to make your beautiful crepe. Okay, so here we go. Wish you could smell this. So good. Now, because we're short of time, I wanted to show you what I have done. After about an hour of marination, I went ahead and grilled my chicken. This chicken is not 100% cooked. It's about maybe 90%. What it does is I've caramelized the chicken to give it extra texture for your curry. What I don't like to do is how we typically cook chicken and it sits in the it grazes in the liquid for a long time and it breaks apart and you get this mushy chicken. But when you grill it first, you get a beautiful texture and the chicken is caramelized and it steps up your game. So while this is sauteing, you can go ahead and grill. I've already pre-grilled right here. It smells really, really good. And about a few minutes into it, you want to throw in your curries. So you can just go backwards this way and drop them in. I like to put a lot. Nobody's going to tell you it's enough. You can put as many as you want. Okay. All right. Now I think my pan is ready for my crepe. Try to make this room temperature. If you have a lot and you're going to put it in a refrigerator, it's fine. You can leave it at room temperature. It has a different effect. I feel if it's cold better versus room temperature. Also, another thing, guys, it's also good as this for breakfast. It's not just a savory crepe. It's also a sweet crepe. I've had it with, strawberries and jam. It's perfect. All right, so when my pan is hot enough, now the trick to this is to make sure that your lines are close together so they don't break. Okay, so you can do a circular motion, a crisscross. You can make a spider web design. There's no police that will tell you you can't do certain design. It's fine. You can do whatever. See, I knew this would happen. Big major accident. All right, we're gonna redo that one. All right, one more time. Okay, once the paste has separated from the oil, you can go ahead and put in some coconut milk. And let it simmer. All right, so let me show you what this looks like. You don't want to do the crepe for too long, okay? Or it wouldn't fall nicely. All right, I'm gonna do another one. If you cook this for too long, it will crack. You're not able to fold it into the traditional roti jala. All right, so I don't like my curry too thick. So at some point, after this has simmered down a little bit more, I'm gonna add some water. And at the very end, I'm gonna squeeze some lime juice. Okay, it smells so yummy right now. All right, so this is another one. So you want to make two every time, okay? One simply will just not do the job. It'll just crush, and it's not strong enough to hold together to eat. So here we go. See that? Pretty, it looks like lace. I just love the texture on the back of the crepe. So beautiful. And magically, I have done 5. I learned this from Martin Yen when I was prepping for him. Okay. All right, we're gonna let this simmer. Let's transfer it over here. All right, so this is how we do it at the restaurant. So we're gonna do this with chicken. Remember the chicken that we grilled earlier, right? So we've got grill marks, beautifully charred, caramelized. So we're just going to, so I have my raw board and I have my cook board. So I'm just gonna cut it for a portion. I'm going to use a little bit more. This is gonna be my dinner. All right, so now I'm gonna use the same pan. It's okay, it's pretty clean. A little bit of oil. I'm going to throw in the chicken. It's about 90% cooked, remember? So I'm gonna let it cook a little bit more. And then this curry is not ready, it's still simmering. We're gonna add a little bit of water later, but I have pre-made some curry from earlier, and we're gonna add it in. So if you're doing a vegan version, you're gonna put in your veg, like roasted cauliflower or any type of vegetables, from mushrooms or tofu or tempeh. You can do that the same way I just did the chicken. Okay, so you're gonna add your protein in first, cook it, and then add your curry. But if you're doing your vegetables, of course, you're not gonna cook it as long. You are going to roast your vegetables ahead, and they will be typically already cooked. So you don't want to cook too long. By then, you're just heating the curry. So what I'm doing here is basically finishing the chicken and heating my curry that I've already made. So if you're doing a party, this would be great. You can do a big batch of, curry broth, and just do it, for order. Or you can make a big bowl of a vegan curry, a big bowl of chicken, big bowl of seafood, right? So I can tell my chicken is already cooked just from the texture of it. But this is so delicious. It's a game changer, you guys, because, growing up, I'm used to seeing my family just putting raw chicken into, a curry. And I've learned that to grill my chicken first, it's a game changer. It really gives it a beautiful other level, it's a whole new texture. Okay, so this is done. I'm gonna spoon my chicken into my bowl. And my sauce at the end. It is tomato season right now in California. We have beautiful tomatoes at the farmer's market, and we have fennel too. I was roasting them earlier. Look at these beautiful tomatoes. I'm just gonna put them right here. And some beautiful fennel. And we have these fronds from the fennel, put on top. And voila, we're done. Back to you, Jackie. I don't know if you can see this. You see it?
Oh, wow, that looks amazing. That looks beautiful. You know, it's really quite interesting how California your style is. How you call it the curry broth and all that. I just want to ask you a couple of questions because I missed a bit where you said you pre-marinated the chicken. So you marinated the chicken with the same spice paste that you use for the curry. Is that right?
No, no, much lesser. So the marinade for the raw chicken is simply cubeb peppers. You can use any pepper you like. I just prefer cubeb because it reminds me of my grandmother. And then some kosher salt and turmeric powder and some lime juice.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, did you have any garlic or onion in your spice paste?
Yes. So the ginger, garlic, shallots are in the curry paste.
Got it. Okay, sure. And insofar as seasoning, did you just put some salt in it or?
Oh yeah, so there is salt already in the chicken. I've already salted a lot of salt in the chicken paste earlier. I forgot to tell you. And one more thing, you need to put some lime on here. This adds some acidity and balance. Yeah, you do need to salt. I added a lot of salt in the chicken earlier, so the curry that I had made earlier is already salted. So when you're finished with this is still simmering, add the water and then salt to taste.
Got
it. And then when you scoop it, always add some lime juice. What lime juice does, it gives you acidity and balances out your spices. There's so many spice level, right? So you want to be able to taste all of them. So lime juice does that for you. It opens up your palate.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that. I never do that.
Yeah.
Now this lime juice is. Could you use lemon or anything like that?
Yeah,
or
you can absolutely use lemon. Lemon is great too. Lime is great. Lemon is great. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I noticed that, like you mentioned the buckwheat flour, which I've never used either. That's so interesting. What other sort of like and then you added the tomatoes. So your food is really kind of like you incorporate Malaysian flavors with like fresh produce that you can get a hold of in California and also their dietary lifestyle and all that, right? That's really interesting. Now, you mentioned Martin Yan earlier, but you were on you used to work for Martin Yan, right? Can you tell us a little bit about your experience and like how you ended up on camera with him?
Yeah, I learned all these tricks from him. So you know how he would cook and then ta-da, miraculously it's ready? Well, I did them. So I was in the back of the house, so what happened was there was a call out there for, he goes out to Malaysia and different parts of the world. I think China was one of them. So he adopts all these recipes and takes them back home to San Francisco. He's based in San Francisco, and then he makes it his own version. So there was a call for a Malaysian chef that could help him with his back of the house prep. And so, I was introduced to him. Well, not to him, to his producer. And I went in for an interview and I got the job. And so I did all 13 series for his Taste of Malaysia episodes. I was the person prepping in the back with a few others. It was fun. So, we would basically meet in the morning and he would tell us what he would be making. And we have a schedule and we'd be like there are steps to do different things, on camera, off camera, I learned so much from it. It was really fun. So one day I told Martin, I was like, we have sponsors that, give us all this equipment, right? So I said, let's use this sous vide and let's sous vide some eggs for the new egg dish that we're about to do. And he was like, you know what, you young people, you get on the show and you do it. So I was like, okay, so well, I'm not dressed. I'll see you at makeup in 5 minutes. So I went to makeup. 5 minutes before I know it, I was on stage, and there I am, sous vide eggs, making this dish that I had already prepped for, pretending like it was my recipe, it was his, and I'm like, he's like, I'm like following his move. It was funny how I got on that show, but I think it was because I learned a lot from him, and he is the master of Asian cuisine. It was such an honor to work for a man like him, and his experience taught me a lot, and I'm very humbled by the experience. And so I kind of used what I know from that show to do my own live cooking shows on Instagram.
Guys, Nora is too humble. She's an amazing talent, right? Martin noticed her talent and got her in front of the camera. And she's also co-published a couple of cookbooks, and she's working on you're working on your own cookbook now, is that right?
I am working on my own, yeah, I am.
And what's that going to be about?
I don't know when, because it's been since COVID, and we've had a lot of side projects that have been kind of held back because of what's happened around the world. I'm still working on it. So the first cookbook I did was with Haron. She's a James Beard Award-winning author, and she had asked me to contribute a recipe in her book. My second book is with the Boba guys. It's the first ever Boba book in the world. And then my co-writer just had a baby, so that's another hold up. But yes, and then with the restaurants that I'm overseeing, is a lot, and we're getting ready to open in Oakland as well. So we're waiting for that answer. Hopefully we get some news next week. We put an offer in last week, so hopefully we open that, and then I can finally sit down and write this book.
It's ridiculous. Guys, like I said, I've only known Nora since we started this project, and that was only because Chef Joe, who was MasterChef Malaysia judge, personally recommended her because he'd seen her do some amazing stuff on her Instagram and on social media. But apart from like being in charge of over 6 restaurants over in California, Nora is also head of like this restaurant group, is that right? And she actually successfully lobbied for funding to feed like school kids who were affected by the COVID lockdown. So Nora is not just someone who is stuck in the kitchen all day, but she's got her tentacles all over the place. And I've got so much admiration for what you do. And she's such an inspiration, guys. So make sure you follow Nora. And the other thing I want to mention, the James Beard Geek. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. So there are 2 James Beard gigs I wanted to talk about. The first one happened 4 years ago. I took part in a James Beard blended burger competition. We didn't win nationally, but we won Best Burger in Oakland and Best Burger in the East Bay. What basically was, we partnered with the Mushroom Council of America to come up with a burger that was at least 20% non-meat. So we used mushrooms. It was we did a 60% grass-fed beef, 40% shiitake mushrooms, and then we season it with dry shiitake. Very simple. We serve it with, we did a sambal aioli. It has to have some Asian in it. But yeah, it became Best Burger in Oakland 4 years ago. I'm very proud about that burger. And then it was later adopted by a culinary school out here in San Francisco, and they were serving it at the school and teaching the students to eat sustainably. And then the second James Beard, I'm very proud to say that I might be the first, I don't know, the Malaysian Singaporean chef to have cooked at the James Beard House. I did that October 24th, a few months ago. Big milestone for me. I brought belacan and laksa to the James Beard House. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. We served 80 people in New York. Dinner in New York, 80, and it was me and 3 of my other chef friends from Oakland. It was really nice to get the support from the house because they were always championing American cuisine, and to be asked to cook ethnic food at the Beard House and to be able to tell our stories and how now this ethnic food is now American food. I think it's a win-win for everyone. I feel like, wow, we've arrived.
That's incredible. Now, just a couple of things about your laksa. Is this the same laksa that you're in talks with about being part of a meal kit?
Yeah, so the same laksa recipe is in the ebook. So you guys can, when you subscribe, or if you haven't, go ahead and do that. You can cook your own laksa at home. So I am talking to some people who are doing meal kits, and they're going to feature me for a month. And you can order my laksa as part of a meal kit. You can take it home and just heat it up.
There you go. No need to go to the James Beard house. So if you missed out, this is your chance to try it. And obviously, like I said, guys, don't forget, like Nora said, to subscribe to our website, which is just malaysianchefs.com/join today, and you will get access to a membership area that will give you access to the ebook that all 8 chefs have compiled with our own recipes, and also all the cooking videos that we're doing over the next few days will all be uploaded in that members area as well. So make sure you sign up, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, Masters of Malaysian Cuisine. We are so new. The YouTube channel's only been up for a few days, so we don't have a short, easy to remember URL for you yet. But if you go to YouTube and just do a search for Masters of Malaysian Cuisine, you will be able to subscribe there, and just turn on the notifications so you don't miss our broadcast. Now, just a final thing tonight, in a few hours, we are going to have Vegan Chef Dave, who's such a rock star. Yay. Vegan Chef Dave is going to be showing you how to make his vegan mama mi goreng. All right, so I hope you can join me then, and make sure, again, like I said, keep up with our broadcast by keeping an eye out for your emails. Once you sign up, we'll email you about what's happening each day over the next few days. But tonight, in a few hours at 11 o'clock Sydney time, and we'll have like different time zones. If you're not sure, just go to worldtimeserver.com and do a search. What time? It's 11 o'clock Sydney time at night. What time is it in your part of the world? Make sure you tune in. And the easiest way, I guess, to tune in is to go to malaysianchefs.com, and there's a link there that you click on to start watching when we go live. Thank you so much for this, Nora. You have been amazing. Nora, like I said, is a rock star, not just in the kitchen, but just in how she lives her life, in how she inspires everybody. And I have to just quickly mention that she copped a little bit of a flack for being not Malaysian. But like I said, guys, you don't have to be Malaysian to be a master of Malaysian cuisine. And that's how I look at it. And like I said, she came so highly recommended that it was really impossible to overlook Nora and her skills, and her passion for Malaysian food and Malaysian flavors is just amazing. So thank you so much, and we hope to see more of Nora. And any last words from you, Nora?
Support your local business.
There you go. All right, guys, have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in a few hours with Chef Dave with his take on vegan mi goreng. All right, see you guys. See you, Nora. Ciao.
Okay, bye.